Hello. Welcome to a new episode of the Triumvirate Podcast with me, your host, Mark Triforce King, and my other co-host friend?
Question mark? Maybe. We haven't really decided that on the lore. Well, like the wiki is still being written as we speak, so
yeah, exactly.
You know,
co-host, friend, question mark, and loyal tomboy, Matt.
That's me. I'm loyal tomboy. That's me. Hi, everyone.
And we're here for another podcast brought to you by us for your listening pleasure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That is entirely the case and 100% the truth, and you cannot tell us otherwise.
Yep. So, on this podcast today, we're going to talk about... Anyways, Matt.
Yeah.
I just found out something on Twitter.
What did you find out?
The Nintendo fanboys are going crazy.
Oh no, really? That's a big shocker. What's going on, Mark?
My God, Nintendo had to delay Breath of the Wild 2.
Oh no.
Gasp.
Oh no.
No. Gosh, I just want to go to Nintendo and burn down their fucking corporation. I'm so angry.
Honestly, I think that they really do deserve it. I mean, these slight minor inconveniences in my video game kind of, deserves that sort of result. You know what I'm saying?
I want my Breath of the Wild 2 and I want it now.
I want it right now. And if you release it right now and the graphics aren't 100% like 4K, no, 8K Ultra HD, like 1080p, 120 60 frames per second, I will be mad.
Yeah, me too.
Honestly, I absolutely hate Nintendo. That's why I've bought 5 Nintendo Switches completely out of spite.
Completely out of spite. I support that company more times than I want to, and this is what they do to me. Jeez.
God damn it, Miyamoto. Honestly.
Man, look, alright. If you're a Nintendo fanboy, and you're one of those people, please go touch grass.
Honestly, yes.
Go outside and touch grass. Because listen, do you want Breath of the Wild 2 to end up like Cyberpunk 2077? No.
I swear to God.
No, you don't. Listen, I would rather Nintendo delay Breath of the Wild 2 to make it a masterpiece than for them to release it a buggy mess.
But see, here's the thing. I honestly believe that Nintendo could do anything. They could polish the fuck out of Breath of the Wild 2. They could just put their fucking hearts and souls into it, man. And you still have dipshits on Twitter mad about it.
Nintendo could release their whole back catalog of games onto the Switch with everything perfectly how it was on the N64, NES, Super Nintendo, GameCube, Wii, whatever. Everything on the Nintendo Switch. It'd be polished, perfect, 60 frames per second, 4K resolutions, whatever, and there'd still be someone saying, well, the Switch battery power is pretty shitty.
Exactly,
it doesn't run my games very well.
You know,
or, how come a Wii motion controller won't work with my Switch? This is bullshit, Nintendo. How can I play these games?
Why can't plug in Wii controller on Switch?
Like,
this is bullshit.
They'll just find anything to fucking complain about.
They really do, man. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, your complaints aren't going to go to Nintendo. They aren't going to stop. Like, they aren't going to be like, oh man, this one fan on Twitter is really mad about it, so we better just change our whole company outlook.
And also, I just want to preface this. Like, there are people that have made some pretty solid complaints about Nintendo. Yeah. Nintendo isn't the perfect company, they've done a lot of stupid things, a lot of shitty things, but
yeah,
it's nothing to fucking go on a goddamn hate train of even the smallest things that Nintendo does.
Right, like we've talked about this before with the whole Gilva-Sunner thing, and like, look, like I've said this before, and I'll say it again: Nintendo is a company. They are not your friend.
They're not.
They are a business. They make business decisions behind closed doors, and whether that affects the whole population or not is none of your concern.
Exactly. You know,
they aren't.
I'll have you finish. I'll go on to like my point.
They aren't going to cater to one fan's demands. Hell, they may not even cater to 100,000 fans' demands.
Exactly.
I mean, as long as they're making money, they won't give a shit.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, it's a fucking business, and they make business decisions.
Like, do you think Xbox or Microsoft, fucking like whenever Halo Infinite came out, do you think they just took Halo Infinite off the shelves and replaced everything about it? No, they didn't.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy just to think how people can think, oh, if I complain about it enough on Twitter, then they'll change their minds.
Exactly, man. I just don't fucking get it. And that's pretty much like the majority of like the shit that I see on like, you know, my feed on Twitter is just people complaining about Nintendo and just everything they fucking do. But I want to go back to pretty much something that I think it was last year you and I felt so strongly for just how fucking ridiculous of a response people got for it. And I want to talk about, I think it was last year, but I want to talk about whenever Nintendo announced the Nintendo Switch Online expansion.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, yes. Fucking, like, you and I were talking about it, and just so many people were fucking complaining. It's just like, man, it's costing how much for what? Just like a couple of games on, you know, from the Nintendo 64 and all that. Like, come on, man. You don't have to buy it.
Right?
You really don't have to.
Like, you don't have to complain about it, but if to people like me and you who don't have the ability or don't have the time or the knowledge or the know-how to hack a Switch, which, first of all, is a very risky thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you could break your Switch. Or if you don't have a computer powerful enough, like me, to run a ROM. Or if you don't have the time to play on a computer, if you have a computer powerful to have a ROM, then this is the best option. Mm-hmm. But you still have people complaining saying, oh, I can play fucking Banjo-Kazooie on my iPhone. This is ridiculous. Like, shut up.
This is the stupidest decision Nintendo ever made. Releasing Nintendo 64 games and like Super Nintendo games on the Switch? Come on now. Even though, like, beforehand you had people fucking complaining at Nintendo, saying like, oh, they don't have Nintendo 64 yet? Oh, they don't have Super Nintendo yet? Like, make up your goddamn mind, dude.
It's like I get it. There's some pretty valid complaints. Like with the whole Ocarina of Time thing, how it looked on the Switch, how it looked, how the graphics were different.
Oh, yeah.
Like how like the water textures were different, stuff like that. That I can understand. That's a reasonable complaint because it didn't look the same as it did on the Nintendo 64, especially when you fought Dark Link in the Water Temple. You couldn't see the reflection of Dark Link.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so and the fog of the room was different somehow.
Oh,
and
it's weird.
So I get that. That's a valid complaint. And like another valid complaint is they don't have games like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasies 3 through 6 or things like that. But that's something that Nintendo can't help. That's like Square Enix. That's they have to, you know, they're able to give that to them. But still, I mean, complaining the fact that Nintendo is offering this service of N64 games for just I don't know how much of a price increase it is. For not that much of a price increase for games that you can take on the go. I mean, come on.
Yeah, man. And it's such a stupid argument, people being like, "Oh, well, I can emulate this game and stuff." Dude, no way you can emulate Nintendo games.
Emulate?
I had no idea.
I never even knew that. What? You mean you could tell me that I can play Legend of Zelda on the computer? Gasp.
No fucking way. I had no idea that was an actual thing. Like Project 64? What even is that?
What even is that, right?
I'm so glad I'm being educated right now about emulators.
And also, Nintendo gave away a fucking free, expansive DLC for Animal Crossing.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's, I guess it would be considered free. Because, I mean, without the expansion pack, you could buy the DLC for, I don't know, like $20? I don't know.
I mean, still, that's not bad.
No, it's not. And I mean, my wife plays Animal Crossing and she loves it. She loves that expansion pack. So, it's just, I don't know what the fanboys want with Nintendo. I get what?
I honestly don't think that they know what they want from Nintendo.
No. I get it. Nintendo isn't like Sony or Microsoft or Sega or any of those other gaming companies. You know, Sony and Microsoft have their own things. They have their own fan bases, which they have their own complaints and they have their own gripes and praises about their companies, which I get it. I mean, I'm a Sony boy. I played PlayStation. I used to be an Xbox guy, but I stopped playing Xbox after the 360. And that's whenever we went over to PlayStation. So I'm a PlayStation guy. I get it. I have my own gripes and whatever. But I guess the feeling is that Nintendo has always been this company that's catered to this particular fan base of like family friendly, exciting games with IPs that resurrected the whole gaming industry as a whole. You know, I mean, Nintendo saved video games with Super Mario Brothers and The Legend of Zelda. You know, without Nintendo, there wouldn't be gaming companies right now. Or there would be gaming companies, but they wouldn't be as massive right now without Nintendo. And I know this for a fact because I did a paper about it in college. So,
yeah.
So, I get it. I get it.
I mean, honestly, like, and Nintendo is so big nowadays. I mean, like, fucking everyone knows about Mario. Like,
exactly.
Every single person, if you say fucking like Mario or, you know, like, I was at work the other day and somebody has the fucking, like somebody I wouldn't really like guess. I mean, I hadn't really thought about it, but
yeah,
they had the coin sound.
The coin sound as a text notification or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you know, like everyone and their fucking grandmama knows about Mario, and it's just so popular and just so well known. I mean, pretty much like whenever you think about Mario, you think about video games.
Exactly, and I mean, like I said, I get it, but Nintendo isn't like they were back in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
exactly.
And if people are expecting them to be that way, then I mean, they aren't. I mean, they just aren't going to be that way. That's just the simple facts. They're a business just like Sony and Microsoft. They have to have their games out. They have to appeal to fans somehow. And, I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
it's...
Could you imagine, like, people back in, like, the 80s or 90s just complaining about the smallest fucking thing that Nintendo does, like people do now on Twitter?
It's like, I can just see it now. It's like, what? Link to the Past sucks.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm going to go over to Sega and play Sonic 3. This is ridiculous.
Or even better yet, fucking just like, wow, Mario's moving into like 3D. That I miss the old days whenever like Mario was like 2D and that's all Mario should be, is just a 2D scroller game.
I bet you there were people like that. There were probably people who are like, ugh, 3D. This is ridiculous.
How in the world are you going to control this Jumpman in 3 dimensions?
Like, man, if I was around at that time, if I was around from the switch from 2D to 3D, I would have been like, whoa, this is major.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is like, ugh, like, whoa. And you know what? That's kind of like how we are now with like VR. We're like, now we're going from 3D to VR. Now we're like, whoa, I'm really there. Like, I have this thing on, and like, fucking this person standing right in front of me. I could slap him around with my hands.
Just give him a little slap, on the cheeks.
Give him a little slap on the cheeks. Give him a little toss in the air.
As you get him right. You know, I just thought about it, and I could see sort of like with earlier, you know, somebody complaining about like Mario in 3D, you know, Mario jumping into 3D. I can see the similarities with that, and a fine example whenever Half-Life Alyx came out, because that is strictly VR.
Yeah,
that's a VR experience, and you know, I kind of thought to myself whenever it came out, it's just like, oh, it's a new Half-Life game, but you need a VR headset in order to play it. You know, it's like, okay, but I understand that it's made specifically for VR.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure it's still a solid game, you know, regardless of the fact. It just kind of sucks I don't have a VR headset, but you know, that's the thing. It's just like, I'm not really complaining that it is in VR. It's just, I understand that it is a VR specific game. It's just, I don't have the tools to play it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I saw gameplay of it. I watched a Let's Play of it, and it looks really fun.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I wish I had a VR headset. I mean, I could pick up an Oculus Quest, but they're like fucking $400. But I mean, that's the thing though. Like, VR, like 4 or 5 years ago, was so expensive for the technology. You know, you had to have like 4 cameras on the corner of the walls, plus like 2 right in front of the TV, and you had to have like the headset with the wires coming out of it connected to the console, and it was a mess. And it cost like $800 and $900. The fact that VR is getting cheaper and cheaper nowadays, and it's becoming much more accessible to everyone, I wouldn't be surprised if in like the next like 5-6 years, we're going to have VR that's consumer friendly for everyone to have, that's even cheaper. That's like $300 for like a VR headset that works, sounds, and looks fantastic. That's where I see video games head towards. I see people abandoning, I see console companies or video game companies abandoning consoles or keeping consoles and switching to these VR experiences, to the point where it's going to be like, fuck, in like 20 years, it's going to be like 4D, like Star Trek, like holodeck shit.
Oh, yeah, dude. You know,
probably not 20 years, more like 40 years. Anyways, continue.
Maybe. Yeah, probably. But yeah, I mean, the way that I see it, definitely in like the next few years, I can totally see like the VR headsets and stuff as their own consoles.
Yeah, really.
Like
that's
as a competition with like, you know, Microsoft, Xbox, again, Nintendo. Yeah, I could totally see that as like, you know, competition in.
Yeah.
It's like you could play like these games here, you know, just like the standard, just like, you know, a screen, and then, you know, got the controller buttons and whatnot. Or if you want to live the experience, then you can just get a VR headset. Yeah,
exactly.
it totally be a lot more, like you said, a lot more accessible option to play video games, man. And that's really cool, man.
It really is exciting. It's exciting to know that in the future we're going to be able to have experiences that like it feels almost like real life. Like it's so cool to think that like one day you could be like in a Zelda game, you know, where you could be like in the world there and it feels so real.
Yeah, man. Like, dude, could you imagine fucking like Breath of the Wild in VR?
Oh God,
That'd be
yes,
cool
dude.
as shit, man.
That'd be so cool. Like, or Mario Odyssey, like in VR.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
Like Call of Duty in VR. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
hell yeah, dude.
dude. Yeah, Nazi zombies in VR. Yeah,
actual blood coming out of your body type of VR. Hell yes.
dude.
Whenever you get shot.
But dude, I actually really I thought Nazi zombies in VR would be like scary, but I think that would actually be pretty cool. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, like,
I don't know.
That'd be sick.
Cause it would be because like if I can fight zombies without the threat of yourself dying, but like you're really there. Oh,
yeah,
that would be really cool. I don't know. That'd be really cool. But yeah, so that's where I think video games are heading. I think they're heading towards a more real life experience rather than just playing on a console. But then again, I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know what Nintendo is going to make after the Switch. The Switch is it's everything that Nintendo wanted to make into one. That's why they got rid of the DS. They got rid of the Wii U. This is the answer to the DS and the Wii. Yeah. Right here is the Nintendo Switch. It is portable. It is powerful. And it can play a billion games. Sure, they don't have much AAA titles like Halo or fucking Call of Duty or anything like that. But they have fucking, like they just put, and they're about to put things like Portal 2. They have Assassin's Creed 2, which I'm playing Assassin's Creed 2 right now. And fuck, that game is so good. I forgot. I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that in a little bit. But, yeah, so, I mean, sure, they don't have much AAA titles, but, I mean, for what you get for the console, it's great. I mean, I don't know how Nintendo's going to one-up themselves. I don't know what... I mean, I don't know.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, where the fuck do you go from here?
I have the Switch DS. It's a dual screen. Holy It's two fuck. Switches on top of each other.
Oh, my God. Just fucking duct tape on top of it.
Because, like, it's so weird because, like, the Switch is everything that I wanted after the Wii U. Because, you know, no one liked the Wii U, but I liked the Wii U. I liked the Wii U because it had all my Zelda games on there. It had my Mario games on there. You know, that's my system I played Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then, like, yeah, like you said, like, Wind Waker was pretty much sort of like an exclusive to the Wii U.
It was. Yeah. It was. And I hope one day they'll be able to port both of them to the Switch. That would be fantastic.
I can see it happening. They're probably going to have it happen. Just pretty much because, like, yeah, the Switch is pretty much like the overall, just like all in one. You can just throw whatever at it. Whatever title, whatever like game whatsoever, and it'll run it like nobody's business. So they're like, you can just put like the entire fucking Nintendo library on that. And
yeah, I mean, it's really is just like an omni console, you could say. It runs everything. So I really genuinely don't know what Nintendo is going to do after the Switch, because I mean the Switch is going to go away after some time, like every console. But I don't see it going away until like maybe 7 or 8 years from now. Like I see the Switch sticking around. I see the Switch sticking around for as long as the DS line stuck around.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So I mean, that's just how I feel. I could be wrong. Nintendo could come to E3 this year and be like, "Hey, this is gonna be the fucking Boobaloo Boo 2000. It can run Schmiggeldorfs and
my god."
And Bingle Bobs.
Oh my god, not Bingle Bobs.
Bingle Bobs, dude.
No
in 4K
way.
HD.
Oh my god, I've been waiting forever for Bingo Bobs. Dude.
And you know what? I think Nintendo fanboys just want a Switch that's as powerful as the PS4 or PS5 at this point. Sorry. PS5 and the Xbox mini fridge. I don't know what's fucking called.
that's actually what the project was called.
Yeah. I get it. I would love a Switch as powerful as those systems, or I love a Nintendo console that's as powerful as those systems. But I mean, come on. The PS5 and the Xbox X, whatever I don't know what it's called. What is it called? You know what it's called?
Man, they're so weird with the fucking names.
I know. I don't know what it's called.
It's called the Series X or the Series S.
Yeah.
That's the latest.
You can't take those portably, but you could take the Switch portably.
Exactly. And I think that's really like the one up that Nintendo has over the other two.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Like Sony tried it with a PSP, which I adored the PSP. I played that shit all the time.
Man, I wanted to get a PSP like whenever I was a kid.
I had the PSP Series 1000, Series 2000. And then I had the PSP Go, which I love the PSP Go. Not many people did, but I did. I liked how small it was, and I liked it. I did not have the PS Vita, although I wanted to get one. But it was actually I had to choose between a PS Vita and a 3DS. Both at the time did not have many games that came out for it, so I chose 3DS, and I loved it, man. 3DS. The 3DS was so revolutionary. It was so cool.
It was. Like, honestly,
it was so cool.
I don't know how the fuck they did that with the whole 3D aspect, but
and then
that's it. That was sick.
And then the new 3DS XL came out. Man, that was even more cool because it could track your eyes and the 3D didn't mess up when you moved your head.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Man.
It was so cool.
See, that's the thing, is just like when I would say whenever Nintendo first announced the Wii, they pretty much sold the whole world with fucking like motion controls, because that wasn't even like a fucking thing at the time, you know?
Man, I remember when the Wii came out, we tried to get it day one, and there was it was sold out everywhere.
I bet.
I remember 8 months later, I was playing Guitar Hero 3.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad were like, all right, if you can play this song on Expert and pass, then we'll go get you a Wii.
Oh, shit.
I was like, okay. So I played for hours until I finally beat the song on Expert. I didn't FC it, but I got it. And they were like, all right, let's go get a Wii. And we went to Best Buy, and they had one Wii left.
Wow.
Just one. It was Wii with Wii Sports, and we got it. And you know what? I bet mom and dad wish they would have gotten a Wii before that, because they loved the fuck out of that machine. They played Wii Sports all the time.
Dude, Wii Sports is the fucking shit. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Oh, I can't wait for Wii Sports to come out on the Switch.
I forgot that was a thing. Yeah, the Nintendo Switch Sports. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch Sports. I can't wait.
God, man. You know, I will say, though, I mean, it is a little different. Just the fact that, you don't have the Miis anymore.
I will say that.
But, yes. I mean, the Miis were kind of like, they were with the Wii.
Yeah.
You know, that was the whole gimmick with that. Like, the Miis, like, were kind of exclusive. I mean, it's in the fucking name. Just MIIWII, that sort of thing. But it was a really cool kind of customization thing that you could fucking put into Wii Sports. You could just play as your character, you know?
You could play as you.
You could play as you. And that was a real cool thing about it. But
it was.
Pretty much my point is that it's going to be a little different not seeing Matt beat the shit out of you in whatever sport.
You're right.
You know?
Right. It is going to be different. But I can't wait for it, dude. Like, I loved Wii Sports, and I'm glad that Nintendo Switch Sports is coming out. Yeah, it's the future is bright for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo fanboys, just calm down.
That's pretty much the point that we're trying to make here. It's just like, I understand, like, to an extent, some of the frustrations you guys might have, but in the grand scheme of things, just chill out for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, you can't just be constantly on this fucking hate train on Nintendo, because they have distributed so much, like, aspects and video games and titles and everything that are really cool. They are a business, like we said before, and they make business decisions and, you know, do that sort of thing. But just take the time, just take a step back and just really just appreciate for what they've done, you know, like in the lighter aspect of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So that's it really about Nintendo. They're good people. Just let them work on their games. And they enjoy them when they comes out. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo is a pretty cool company, and they have made a bunch of cool stuff. This is actually an advertisement to Nintendo.
Yeah.
I just wanted to just let that out in the air. We're actually not. We're getting paid by Nintendo as we speak.
Yeah.
In advertising, not really, but you know, I'm just saying. Or we're not getting paid at all. I'm just saying that Nintendo is pretty good.
God, I love Nintendo. No, I really don't. God, they're just so good. I love the company. Fuck them. Man, they're so really nice. Just, I love their games. I love Zelda. Zelda sucks. It's really nice, you know. All right.
Shit.
Next topic.
Yeah.
Is something we probably should have talked about in the last podcast, because that was the relevant time. Hey. Oscars, am I right?
Yep. I knew you were gonna fucking talk about that.
I mean, hey, listen. Nothing happened at the Oscars. I don't know what you're talking about. It's
nothing at all.
Nope.
Nothing at all happened. Yeah.
Nope.
By the time of this recording, I mean, like, it just happened maybe like a day or two ago. So.
Yeah, I think it happened Sunday, actually.
Yeah. Like Sunday night. And it's been like the most talked about thing, even fucking like today, like two days afterwards.
If you don't know what we're talking about the infamous, the one and only slap that divided America, Will Smith that's slapping Chris Rock.
Yep. Just fucking so basically what happened, if you're not up to speed with what happened, basically Chris Rock is on the stage during, you know, the Oscars, and he's pretty much there to announce an award for you know what it was?
I don't know what it was exactly, but he was just announcing an award up there, and he was just going on a spiel.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going on.
He's a comedian, just kind of just like, you know, roasting the people in the audience, you know, that sort of thing. And so he's just, you know, like just talking to about, you know, certain people, I guess, up front. And Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith were one of the people like in front row. And so anyway, of course, Chris Rock, he you know, like they're obviously acquaintances. with Will Smith and Chris Rock, and so I mean, I don't. With it being the topic of it being like lighthearted, I mean, I guess there was also talk about maybe he was just unaware of Jada's condition. But anyway, during his little miniature roast, while he was up just before he gave out the award, he made a comment on the fact that Jada is, I mean, she has really short hair.
I don't think she has hair at all. She has alopecia. So.
Oh, she just doesn't have any at all. She shaved it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's the case, or maybe it all fell out. Because alopecia, your hair falls off very easily, and it's a disability. It's an illness.
Oh,
it's pretty serious. It can make you feel self-conscious, and I get that. But anyways, continue. So that's what we made a joke about.
So basically, just the debate whether Chris Rock was aware of her alopecia or not. That's for a different section.
That's for another day.
Yeah, that's for another day. But anyway, so he made a remark since, he started talking about Will Smith, and then, of course, Jada was right next to him. He made the remark that was just like, it was like, Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I haven't really seen G.I. Jane. I
didn't
know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either. So
I guess like the point that Chris Rock was trying to make was, I guess, a character in it.
Oh yeah, G.I. Jane. She doesn't have any hair.
She doesn't have any hair. Oh, okay, so that was sort of like the point, or the point of the joke that Chris Rock was trying to make, just kind of just making a remark at the fact that she's bald, and so. Like, basically, like, everybody is having a chuckle at that joke and everything. And, it cuts to Will and Jada. Jada's rolling her eyes just like, that was not cool. And, Will Smith, he's just kind of just laughing it off. It's debating. There's a debate on, whether or not he actually thought it was funny or not.
Yeah.
But anyway... So, yeah, it's for like a few seconds. The camera's on the both of them, and they're pretty much their reaction to Chris Rock's joke, and so it cuts back to Chris Rock, and he's just pretty much while everyone's sort of just like laughing and chuckling and whatnot, and he's trying to transition into talking about, the award and stuff like that. Well, while that's happening, Will Smith, off camera, he goes up on the stage and, like, completely just unplanned, like, it...
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. He just walks up on the stage and, like, Chris Rock is just smiling. He's just like, oh, what's going on here? Oh, hey, man. And... So Chris Rock's just standing, his hands are behind his back, and Will Smith goes right up to him, and he fucking slaps him.
Yep.
And, like, it was just like, whoa, what the fuck? And so after Will slaps him, he goes back to his seat, he goes off stage, he goes back to his seat, and Chris Rock's just like, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Yep.
And after Chris Rock says that, Will is pretty much like he shouts. He's just like, "Get my wife's name out your fucking mouth."
Yeah.
Chris Rock's just like, "Whoa, it was a G.I. Jane joke, dude. What the hell?" And so Will Smith says it again, a lot louder. keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Just real loud. Just killing the mood for, like, everyone and everything like that.
Yeah.
And so just pretty much after that shit, like, Chris Rock's just like, wow.
Yeah, all right.
So anyway, with the award, and it just kind of the Oscars just keep on going.
Exactly. And that was a perfect retelling, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Was very well done. It's hotly debated that all of that was a setup.
Like, since it, like, just happened, like, not too long ago, and just from just kind of, like, analyzing the exact scene of, just, like, what I talked about, I don't know. I kind of believe that myself, that it was kind of, like, just set up, because the whole, like, general idea with that argument is just the fact that, like, the Oscars, the viewership for the Oscars, kind of has been, like, dwindling down, over the years. And, just so conveniently, just something crazy as, like, a celebrity going up stage, like, without any without any warning and whatnot, and just slapping the shit out of another celebrity. I mean, of course everyone's gonna be talking about that, and just the general idea is just like, oh wow, just all of a sudden, after so many years of the viewership dwindling down at the Oscars, it's just so convenient that something crazy like that happens. Now all of a sudden it's the topic on everyone's mind. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone was glued to the Oscars after that happened,
Yep.
And I kind of believe that myself anyway.
Yeah, there's good debates for both sides of the topic. The debates on the topic that it was all staged is the fact that no one tried to stop Will Smith.
That's true.
The way that he slapped Chris Rock looked very fake, looked very movie-like. And Chris Rock didn't react at all. Didn't rub his face, didn't do anything like that. And the fact that there's only like one camera angle, how it was staged to look like he was going to walk on stage and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But the counter arguments to that is the fact that Will did it because his wife, Jada, was upset. Visibly, you can see it. She's not happy. And he looked at her, and then he, changed his demeanor and went on stage and slapped him. And Chris didn't do anything about it because he's a professional. His professionalism outweighs his own pain, I guess, and didn't react to it at all. And the reason why no one stopped him is because the Oscars are not a public event. It's for celebrities and their families. So there's no reason for security or anything like that. And to have security tackle a high-list celebrity like Will Smith on national television wouldn't be such a good idea for the Oscars. Wouldn't be such a good idea for this national televised event.
Yeah.
So... And plus, the things that have been coming out nowadays saying, like, they apologized during the after party and everything's all smoothed over. It leads to believe that it was real, but also it leads to believe that it wasn't real. It's something that, like you said earlier, it's so fresh right now. It's still fresh, even after a couple of days, that...
I get it.
yeah. Anyway. So fresh.
Yeah, fresh like a French prince. Yeah, get it? Jokester, jokey joke.
And also it, how Will Smith, said something about it during his acceptance speech, is also saying how it was, completely, he apologized for it and didn't mean to make a mess of himself. But I don't know. I'm not really one to believe to to say things like, "Oh, that was obviously fake." I usually believe pretty much like a lot of things, but this, I'm like, I don't know. It's questionable. Like, why would Will Smith do this? Like, I get it. Like, he's protecting like his wife's like, you know, image. You know, she was obviously upset, but this was something that could have been settled off stage. Why did he have to do it on national television? Like, I get it. Like if you explode with rage and if you aren't thinking about it clearly, like, I get it. You know, you're going to do something that you regret or something that like you didn't think of at the time because you were angry about it. And maybe that's the case. Maybe he just wasn't thinking. He was like, all right, I got to go smack the shit out of this guy because he just made fun of my wife. And I obviously care much about my wife. I don't care if it's on national television or not. I want to go do it. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like anybody with a wife would do the same thing. Like, if I was in a national thing and someone made fun of my wife, I'd probably be shouting some shit too. I wouldn't go up on stage, but I'd be like, hey, shut the fuck up about my wife.
Yeah. I mean, definitely.
And I mean, I don't know. It's a lot.
And like, yeah, I understand like pretty much like all aspects of it. Like we were talking about, like with the whole like conspiracy theory, maybe it was staged. Is just like, if even whether or not that was the case or not, if it was the Oscars' intention to maybe like script between Will and Chris, that whole ordeal, and like I don't know, like I don't think like everyone might have been in on it. If that's the case,
yeah,
it may have just been between maybe like Will and Chris, and just everyone else got like a genuine reaction on it. But if that was their intention to increase the viewership of the Oscars by doing something crazy like that, it worked. Whether or not that is the case or not, it worked. But I want to argue that if it wasn't staged, if it wasn't fake, you know, I still think, you know, it's understandable as well. And I really think that it definitely could have been handled in a better way. Like, honestly, if Will put Chris Rock to the side and was just like, hey, man, I really don't like what you said about Jada, and I want you to publicly apologize for that little remark you made. That would have been the best solution out of all of it. If just to get Chris Rock to just publicly just apologize because of her alopecia, you know, like making a dumb remark like that, you know, I think that would have been the best solution, instead of just going up stage and just slapping the shit out of him. I understand the rage behind it. You know, like you said, if I had a wife, but no, if I had a significant other and like somebody made a remark about a certain thing or a certain condition that she has, I would probably just be like, dude, that's a little fucked up. Like out loud, just like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. I will say though, regardless if it's fake or not, there have been some excellent memes coming out of it. Just top quality, just beautiful meme work from the internet.
Craziest shit though?
What?
This is the fastest I've seen the internet work on memes.
Right? Like, they're pumping out memes left and right from this. It's insane, and I love it. I am here for it.
I'm not even kidding. Like, the moment I heard about it, like, there was already, like, memes on Twitter about it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and some of them are great, and some of them are really stupid. Like, here's what I just saw. I'm gonna retweet this one. Wait, what does this say? Hold on. This is Zelda CDI version of it.
Oh God.
What is it? Keep my dinner out of your fucking mouth, boy. Just great, good stuff. Just good memes, and regardless if it's fake or not, you can at least appreciate the meme value that's came out of this.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't know if by the time this airs, I mean, I'm thinking about making it public, but last night, I got the greatest idea by the Crimson Chin. Shoutouts to the Crimson Chin.
Yes, shout out to the Crimson Chin.
So basically, I myself have participated in memeing this event here, and basically it is a mix between that meme video, Discombobulate.
Yes, it was so good, dude. I watched that video several times. It's incredible. If it's on your channel, please go see it, people. It's incredible.
I'm probably gonna make it public. I mean, it's probably gonna be a thing. I mean, I didn't really just make it intentionally for like, just to be on top of the topic or anything and try to get that sweet cred. I just kind of made it just because it'd be a funny meme. But,
exactly.
But just because of the fact, like sharing it with you guys, you, Funk, Crimson Chin, and all that stuff, I might just share it with others too.
Yeah, I might as well.
It is pretty. I was cracking up making it.
Hey, post it on your Twitter, just to share the world.
Yeah, man.
Discombobulate.
I think my favorite part in like making that last night is the way that like Chris Rock, the way that he moves his arm, and it really made it look like Chris is just kind of like swinging back at him, and then fucking Will just like blocks it, and then he slaps him.
Yeah.
That was fucking great.
Very well done. It was so good. God, it was so good. So good.
It was just make it look like, it was all in his head, like, beforehand, and then he goes and does it.
Alright, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm getting a phone call.
Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Discombobulate. Well, all right, gang. I'm just gonna go ahead and end today's episode myself, because in the last episode I had some internet issues. I don't know if I haven't really like gone to editing it, so I don't know if I left that in for the last one, but yeah, I had some internet issues with mine, but apparently Mark has some internet issues with him as well. Isn't it just great? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode for today, and just say thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast, and we'll definitely be doing a lot more, and we'll talk about some more stuff in the future episodes. If you want to message us or tweet at us at Triumvirate VG, if you want to send us any recommendations on stuff to talk about, hey, well, our Twitter's open. If you want to message us on our Discord, the links in the description or at the end of the video if you're watching on YouTube. You want to check that out, and you want to listen to us on like Google Podcasts, Spotify, all that shit, Apple Podcasts. We got all the links in the description if you want to just check that out. But enough of the plugs and all that bullshit. Thanks everybody for tuning in to this episode of the podcast, and we really appreciate you. So, without further ado, let's get the frick out of here, my guy. Cue the music. Okay, everyone. We'll see you later. We'll see you in the next episode. Maybe we'll talk about some bullshit like boxers or briefs or some shit. I don't fucking know. We'll find out, all of us, the listening and us. We'll find out in the next episode. Okay, bye.